Hi, I'm Joe, and this is my van. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel for more VanBuild updates. Today we're moving on to the exterior of the build and we're getting up on the roof. The next step for us is to look at the roof rack and the vent fan installation. Both very important purchases for this build. With regards to the roof rack, I had to make the decision early on if I was going to buy a prefabricated rack or design and build one myself. The rack primarily integrates three things. 1. Storage for any material or equipment I'm moving. 2. The vent fans and the AC unit. And 3. Probably the most important, the solar panel array. There are many different companies out there for van upfits and attachments. Depending on your needs and vehicle model, there's a ton of options. I wanted the versatility in my rack and the options to add on to it later. I went with Flatline Van Company out of Oregon. I left the link below in the description. Check out their website for all kind of VanBuild upfits. They make a very attractive product with great customer service. A shout out to Russell for all the help over at Flatline. I ordered the low profile, high roof extended model for the Ford Transit. I also ordered extra hardware for later mounting the solar panels and 2 extra crossbars. The first step of the installation was to identify the location of mounting pads on the Transit van. Ford has installed mounting holes and covered the threaded holes pretty well, so using a heat gun and a scraper and some solvent to remove the adhesive was necessary. Next, I cleaned out the hole and primed any bare metal. I mounted the pads and added sealant to the edges. I continued the process 10 times total, 5 on each side, and mounted the side rails to the roof rack mounting pads. The low-profile roof rack from Flatline Van Company comes with pre-drilled spots for future add-ons like a side ladder and an awning. Next, it was time to mount the crossbars, but this is where things slowed down to a screeching halt. In order to properly place the crossbars, I had to know where the solar panels are going, so I put in a few temporary crossbars for stability while I figured things out. I knew I wanted to use 2 vent fans. I chose MaxxFAN Deluxe 7500K. One fan will blow out to exhaust and the other in to circulate airflow. Early on, I had to make the decision whether to go vent fan or air conditioning unit. The logic here is there's a 14 by 14 inch hole cut out for the vent fans, so down the road, if I want to change out and go with an AC unit, it should be a pretty easy swap. I purchased the fans online from SolarTown. I've left their link in the description below. I ordered 2 adapters, one for the vent fan on center and one for the vent fan I'm going to place off center, 16¼ inches. Both are made for the Ford Transit van. The folks over at DIY Van make an excellent solution for these little problem van builders run into. The link to DIY Van is also in the description below. The solar panels I purchased a while ago from Bouge RV, I go over that in another video about the solar system. It seemed I had all my parts together and I was able to move over to Google SketchUp and do some planning. I had enough dimensions to model the roof rack, vent fans, and solar panels. I placed the vent fan adapters and glued them down with the recommended adhesive. DIY recommends using 3M window weld. Very good product. 1 tube was plenty for both adapters. I cleaned the roof with alcohol and the parts adhered within a half hour. I let the cure sit overnight and returned the next day to cut the holes and mount the fans. Now, before going any further, I tested the fans with a 12-volt battery I had lying around to make sure they would work. Cutting a hole in the roof and not having anything to fill at this point would be a major fail. So good news, they work, and I got out my angle grinder. Between my cutoff wheel and my jigsaw with a metal blade, I used the adapters as guides to cut the holes. I was sure to clean the sharp metal edges and mask the van for metal debris and metal dust, as well as prime any bare metal that was exposed. Next was time to fit the mounting bracket for the MAXXFAN. After a perfect fit, I transferred the holes through the adapter and roof to screw down the bracket. I applied 2-inch butyl tape, which I bought off Amazon. Just a heads up, all the adhesives, sealants, and tapes were an expense I severely overlooked. But I've already used 5 or 6 different types of adhesives and sealants, and they can get quite pricey. I made some plywood cutouts to receive the stainless steel screws, as you can see here. I repeated the process on the second fan and mounted the machines. Once I knew everything worked, I taped off the area and added some Dicor lap sealant to cover any areas for a tight seal. Everything looked good, but yes, I did finish this at 1 a.m., so I wasn't too sure what was going to happen. But the next day, everything looked great. And now it was time to finally mount the solar panels. Stay tuned next time when we talk about the solar panel installation and the solar system. Thanks for watching. I'm Joe and this is my van. Like and subscribe below, and we'll see you next time.